Okay, this is for Algebra 2. It's systems of inequalities. Remember that what makes it an inequality is that you have greater than or equal to, greater than, less than or equal to, or less than. Okay, the two main changes between graphing equations and graphing inequalities is you have to decide whether it is solid or dashed, and if you have to decide if you're going to shade above or below. On your notes for step 1, to solve a system of inequalities, step 1 is you are going to graph and shade your first inequality. Step 2 is you're going to graph and shade your second inequality. Step 3, once you have them both graphed and shaded, your solution is the area that has both colors. I recommend that you do the first graph with one color, perhaps your pencil, the second graph with another color or a pen. What part of the graph that got both colors is your solution. However, if there is no area that has both colors, there is no solution to the system. You have to remember that if it has a line, if it's less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, that's when you draw a solid line. If it does not have a line in the inequality, that's when you draw your dashed line. If it points away from y, you're going to shade above. Away is above. If it points to the y, you're going to shade below. So on the first one, of course, you've got to have y by itself first. This is good. To graph the first equation, you're going to use your y-intercept for your first point, and we're going to go up 2. From there, you're going to use your slope, and we're going to go, it's a positive slope, so up 2 over 3 from the first point. Up 2 over 3. This is a dashed line, so you draw your dashed line, and it points away, so we would shade above. Then you go to your second one. The first point is -1, so we go down 1. From there, we're going to go up 2 and over 3. It is a dashed line also, and it points to the y, so we're going to shade below. Notice there is no part of my graph that had both colors on it, therefore there is no solution. Next problem, you're going to start out by having to get y by itself. So on the top problem, you're going to end up with -2y is greater than or equal to -2 minus x. Divide everything by a -2, which means you got to flip your symbol. Y is less than or equal to 1 plus 1/2 x. So my first point, I go up 1. From there, I go up 1 over 2. I used the 1 for my first point, the 1/2 for my second point. This is a solid line, and we're going to shade below. The other equation, I have to move the x, and so y is less than or equal to -1 minus x. -1 is my first point, so I go down 1. Slope, that right there is like saying -1 over 1, so down 1 to the right 1. This was also a solid line, and I have to shade above. I'm sorry, I shade below. So your actual answer is this area down here that would have the red and the purple on it. The purple problem, x is greater than or equal to 5. When you only have one letter, you're going to go and find where it crosses the x-axis at 5. So right there, you have to have a line that crosses the x at 5, so it's going to be a vertical line. It is a solid line, and we would shade above. Can't do that, so we're going to shade to the right, because that's greater than. For the right equation, you got to move that x. Y is less than or equal to 3 minus x. First point is going to go up 3. From there, that right there is a slope of -1 over 1. So down 1 to the right 1. It is a solid line. Try to hit your points better than I did. And it's less than, so we're going to shade below. Your answer is the part that got both colors, so it's this little area down here at the bottom right corner. This equation, they have already got both of the y's by itself, so it's ready to graph. First point here would be -4, so I went down 4. Then in slope of -4 over 5, so I'll go down 4 more. To the right 5. It is a dashed line, and I'm going to shade above because it points away from the y. Other equation, my first point is up at 2. Then I go down 4. over 5. It is also a dashed line and a shade above again. So your solution is the part that got both colors, so it's this top right corner. That takes you to your assignment, Solving Systems of Inequalities. If you have any questions, come find me during speed.